What do you take away from that game, Rory? And also, looking ahead to Brisbane, what do you get out of that game?
Obviously, you just got to keep winning. That's pretty much what we're going through at the moment. So every game's super important. Tight competition in the top 5 and top 8 in general. So we just got to go out there and win every game possible, and each game's as important as the next. So that's exactly the same thing we're going to take into Brisbane this week.
You mightn't focus specifically on percentage, but it does hurt when you let 3 goals in that last little bit. Was that frustrating?
Yeah, it was frustrating. We obviously don't want to leak any goals, especially late. So credit to Essendon, they kept coming at us in the fourth quarter, and they exposed us a bit at the end there. So it's a matter of us playing 4 quarters and playing the whole quarter out as well. So,
do you risk Source this week?
I think they'll assess him. It's only been 24 hours, or not even. So they'll work it out during the week, and I'm sure we've got the doctors and the physios will work out whether he's ready to go, and if he is, then he'll play. But if not, then we've got really good players playing well in the sample that can come in and play a role.
Have you spoken to him today? How's he feeling today? Have you spoken to him?
No, I haven't seen him, mate. Nah. So as I said, I'm sure he's seen the doctors and he's probably been icing all night. So I'm sure he'll be very diligent in his rehab process.
If it was you, would you want to play? Given that it's Brisbane and you've got a few bigger fish to fry, would you want to play, or are you happy to just sit one out?
I'd want to play personally, but I think that's up to Source and what the doctors say about if it's going to have any lingering issues. But I'm sure he'd want to play every game he can. So, but yeah, I think I'll leave it into the hands of the medicos.
What can you tell us about Riley O'Brien if he happened to come in?
He hasn't put a foot wrong since he's coming here. He's worked really hard at his craft, playing consistent footy in SANFL, played a bit of NAB Cup last year. Really good player, great ruck work, and follows the ball around the ground really well too with his ground balls and his second efforts. So if he comes in, I'd definitely say he's ready for an AFL shot, and credit to him for playing well, but just depends on how Source goes.
Rory, when the injury happened, the collective sort of groan around the crowd was, oh God, this could be pretty serious. Was that the same on the ground? Was your heart in your mouth as he was getting sort of limping off the ground and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, you don't want to see any of your players go down with injury at all on either side of the team, so either side of the ground, sorry, any Essendon player as well. But yeah, with Source is obviously a really crucial part of our team. One of the top tier ruckmen in the competition, and coming across good ruckman's hard to find. So lucky we have a bit of depth in that area. But yeah, you don't want to see Source go down because he's very important to us.
Brisbane then. No one really wants to say they need to win by a certain amount, but given how tight the top 4 and 5, as you said, you're looking to put a serious margin on?
Yeah, as I said, every game up until the finals now, the last 4 is really crucial for us to win, and we've got about the process that we did last week, the same kind of lead up, and as we've been doing the last, all year really. So every game is super important, and yeah, we need to play our best footy, and I'm sure we'll be looking to do that on the weekend.
Once the game's in check, sort of like with the Essendon game, is there any mention of let's try and win this by as much as we can?
No, it's more, let's just keep going and playing our way. We don't want to fall off and, let them back into the game at all. We're all about our process and the way that we play, and I don't think it's good practice to go out there and, let the ball drop. We've got to keep the foot on the throat, and that's what we plan to do each week.
Is that why it was so frustrating when Essendon did kick those 3 goals at the end?
Yeah, exactly as I said. We don't want to let that happen against any team, and we did let it happen in the end there. So we were getting a bit frustrated out there, but you have to look at it in perspective. We're up by nearly 100 points, but we need to make sure that we finish off the 4 quarters.
And hopefully, Rory, the skipper back this week. That'd be a big bonus.
Yeah, I think he trained a bit over the weekend, and I think he trained a bit today. And then during the week, if he gets through, then I'm sure he'll probably be ready to go and get back in. But it's just a matter of him getting through training and getting through 100%.
What about one of your fellow backmen? Hardo, was it good to see? No?
Yeah, we spoke about it at half time because they said he was going up forward and a pinch hit in the ruck, and we knew he hadn't kicked a goal, and then me and Smithy were right behind him, and we're talking to him at half time saying how much we were going to get around him, and yeah, we're talking to him just saying take your time, and he struck it beautifully. Like, he looked like a key forward, and not even that, he rucked pretty well, and he's a big body, and he had a few good contests up there too, so credit to him playing up and down the ground. So yeah, another couple of strings to his bow.
You walked into the club this morning with a bit of a puffed out chest after becoming a goal kicker?
Yeah, no, I haven't actually seen him yet, but I'm sure we'll hear about it a few times this week. He's got one on the board, so no, credit to him. He played really well.
All good, guys.
Oh, I got one. Sorry. Eddie,
got a pen in that.
yesterday. He's amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a freak.
What What did he glad you stuck around for that
Let's frankly put that in there. Happy he's on my team. Happy he's on my team.